We got a video to watch. Disturbant. A case too gruesome to mention. I feel like I've heard the name Tina Nash, but I could be thinking of that one guy. Who? Devin Nash or something? So Twitter equals poop? Yes, that's all. That should be all you've gotten out of that. Poop and run, chat. Poop and run. Remember that. All right. Let's go.
This case takes place in 2011.
Holy shit, that's quiet. Is that just me?
The United Kingdom, in a small town called Hale. Hale is located in the southwest of England in a county called Cornwall, which is one of the most beautiful parts of the United Kingdom. If you ever happen to be in the UK, I would strongly recommend a visit. Tina Nash was a 32-year-old woman who lived in Hale and was a mother of two. Her two children had different fathers, and she had separated from both of them.
Oh, now it's loud for you guys? Oh, so it's just me. Oh, I'm an idiot. My bad. Wait, does this mean I have access to it? Nope, I don't have access to it. Pepe hands. Soon.
In 2009, Tina would meet her soon-to-be boyfriend in a nightclub, a man named Shane Jenkins. The two had actually met a few years before this meeting, but one of Tina's friends had told her to stay
quiet. Dude, if you guys... What? Oh my god. Okay, here. Let me make sure it's the perfect... Let me make sure it's the perfect volume for you guys. Right in the middle. Is that better? Fucking whiny ass chat. I swear to God.
away from him, and even went as far as to describe Shane as a psychopath. This evaluation of Shane wasn't without substance, as around this time, he had been arrested and imprisoned for stomping on someone's head repeatedly, causing serious brain damage.
What the fuck?
So Tina listened to her friend's warning and stayed well away. But at this second meeting in 2009, she claimed that Shane seemed to be more mature now and was...
Oh my god, the classic he's changed, I can fix him. Oh, it's so sad to see, man. This happens constantly.
charming to be around. She assumed that he had now grown up and was a changed man.
God damn
The
it.
two exchanged their numbers and began talking.
Dad, here's a tip. A tip on life. Actually, me and Amy were talking about something similar the other day. Here's the thing. People don't change. Remember that. Internalize it. Live with it. People, okay, let me rephrase that. People past like 25, I would say. People, 20, 22, 23 and above, they're not changing. Maybe if they're like a teenager, they're definitely going to change. They'll mature more, get better. But if they're past 20s, like if they're past mid 20s, early 20s, they're never going to change. They are locked in to who they are, and that's it. Okay? Internalize that. Your life will be better.
Before too long, they started a relationship, and according to Tina, things were going well in the first couple of months. She told her friends that Shane seemed to care for her and made her feel safe. But this would soon change. After the honeymoon period of the relationship came to an end, Shane began to show his true colors.
Yep.
He became increasingly more violent as time would go on. If Shane was intoxicated, or if she did something to annoy him, he would lash out and call her names, and would even spit in her face. The two would frequent bars and clubs together, and on almost every occasion, Shane would pick a fight with a stranger and beat them. Eventually, things would escalate further. Shane began to hit Tina in front of her children. One time, he punched her numerous times, got on top of her, and tried to push his thumbs into her eyes.
God, Oh God, why is this so common, bro? Why is this shit so common? Yeah, he will def change. Okay, chat, we're not going to start victim blaming here. It's not, okay, listen, when I was saying that, I just want to clarify that. When I was saying that, you know, I could change him type dealio, that's not necessarily victim blaming, because think about it. Majority of people feel like that. They want the person to change. They want to believe that that person can change. And when the other person is a manipulator, they will change for a little bit. Then they're going to go back to normal. They're going to change so they can bring that person back into their life, manipulate them, and then go back to their old ways. That's just how it is. That's why it sucks for the people who are, you know, who want someone to change, who want to believe that someone could change and want to hold on to that. It sucks.
And his reason for doing this was because Tina had caught him sleeping with one of her friends, and she told him to leave. Thankfully, Tina was able to kick Shane away from her, and he did not continue the attack. There were numerous warning signs showing what type of person Shane was, but somehow he was able to keep the relationship going. Around 8 months or so into their relationship, Shane beat Tina so bad that she required hospital care.
Jesus
she gave an account
Christ.
of what happened to the police, and following the attack, Shane was arrested and charged. But before he was taken to court, he had convinced Tina to forgive him. She told the police that her statement that she had provided to them was fabricated, and that her injuries were due to her falling and hurting herself badly.
Falling. Man. Did Aaron blame her? No. When did I blame her? No. I literally was saying the opposite. I was saying she's in a manipulative relationship that she couldn't get out of. So she, you know, it's like that situation where you start to believe that I wasn't here for most of it. Yeah, it's just that, yeah, brainwashed in a way. That situation where the manipulator is just controlling the other person and manipulating their emotions into believing that that person can actually change, when in reality they're not going to change. It was the complete opposite. I was saying I feel bad for her because she's been manipulated.
She told the police that she no longer wished to pursue the case
Can't
further,
believe Aaron blamed her.
so
Shake my
the
head.
charges against Shane were dropped. Due to
Sorry.
this attack,
No, I just wanted to
social
clarify
services became
because I
involved.
know how chat works and I know how you guys roll. Gonna freaking clip it and ship it off to the I don't know who, someone, and be like, see, Pig's a victim blamer. See, I told you it was true all along.
But Tina was
Oh, I
able
saw
to
chat
keep
and I
them
assumed they
off
were
her
assuming.
back,
Dude, that's an assumption
which
right
put
there.
the children in danger.
Never
On the
read
evening
chat.
of the 20th of April, 2011, Shane and Tina spent their day together with her children, and they were all getting along very well. Tina thought to herself that Shane recently had been acting like he was when they had first met. She was hoping that his aggressive side would be a thing of the past. That night at around 10 PM, Tina was upstairs in her bedroom trying to sleep when she overheard Shane having a conversation in the back garden with one of the neighbors. Shane was telling this neighbor that he had been prescribed some sleeping pills known as Valium. Shane asked the neighbor if they would like to take some. Shane then walked back into the house to grab the neighbor some pills. Worried that this could get the social services on her back again, Tina ran downstairs to tell Shane not to give the neighbor any
Oh
pills.
no.
This defiance against Shane angered him greatly.
Oh,
he
no.
aggressively swore at Tina and told her to leave him alone. Feeling fed up and disappointed, Tina went back to her bedroom and went to sleep. Then, Tina woke up. She tried to move, but she couldn't. She also tried to look around the room, but she was unable to see. Tina is quoted as saying, "I tried to get up, but I couldn't move. I wriggled, but I felt like a caterpillar stuck in a cocoon. I wriggled, but my arms were trapped by my side, and something was covering my face." Tina had been wrapped up in her duvet so tightly she couldn't even wriggle free. All of a sudden, Tina then felt a person with 2 large hands begin to strangle her through the duvet. And of course, this person was Shane.
Fuck?
He strangled her so hard that she lost consciousness. After the two had a brief argument over the pills and Tina had gone to sleep, Shane had crept into the room, gotten on top of Tina, and punched her repeatedly until she lost consciousness, and then tightly wrapped her in the duvet. After a few moments passed, Tina awoke again. She tried her best to scream for help, but her throat had been damaged from being choked. She was still cocooned in the duvet and was unable to see.
These videos make me so scared of people. This is why, yes.
Again, she tried to wriggle free, but Shane realized that she had awoken and began to choke her until she lost consciousness again. Tina regained consciousness for the 4th time, but this time she could barely even breathe. Shane was still in the room and he realized that she had awoken again. Tina could hear him coming towards her again and managed to muster up the strength to sit upright, and once she did, she said the words, "I'm sorry Shane, I love you." Uttering these words was enough to stop Shane from attacking her again. He unwrapped her from the duvet, allowing her to move, but she still couldn't see anything. Every single time Shane had attacked Tina, he never said a word. But after unwrapping her from the duvet, Shane said, "Your eye is hanging out of your head. You're never going to see your kids ever again." Stunned as to what Shane had just said, Tina slowly brought her hand up to her face. At this point, she felt no pain, so she was confused as to what he was talking about. But as her hand reached her cheek, she felt her—
It's graphic? That doesn't show anything, right? Okay, it doesn't show anything.
Eyeball hanging from her socket. She then reached over to her other eye. This one was bulging from her skull and was incredibly swollen. Whilst Tina was unconscious, Shane had dug his fingers into her eyes and gouged them out. Shane then told Tina, "All of this is your fault. All this over some tablets." Thinking this must
All of this over some tablets, bro! What do you mean this is your fault? You're the one who did this! What?
be some bad dream, Tina again lifted her hand to her cheek, only to be reminded what was happening to her was indeed real. She was now blind in both eyes. Shane was telling the truth. She would never again be able to see her children. Tina's children were still in the house. She begged Shane not to harm them. She was also worried that they would wake up and see her in the state that she was in. Shane continued to—
That literally just shows how good of a person she actually is. She literally had her eyes gouged out. Unsanitary Daniel, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. But like, the fact that she's caring only about her children in this situation just shows how good of a person she is. She doesn't care. She literally doesn't give a shit that her eyes are falling out of her head. She just cares that her children won't witness it or he won't hurt them.
To shout, telling her that the fate she had suffered was entirely her fault. Shane then picked Tina up and carried her into the bathroom and dumped her into a bath filled with cold water, resulting in her head being submerged. The cold water against the exposed nerves in her eyes caused an unbearable amount of pain, and as a result, Tina began to vomit and defecate. Tina begged Shane to let her and her children go, and that if he would, she would tell the police that she was a victim of a random attack and that he had nothing to do with it. Shane just continued to tell her that this was her own fault and that she would not be allowed to leave.
Who in chat was the one who told me to watch this? Oh my God. I just want to throw up now. Oh my God.
Leave the house. The pain Tina was experiencing was so intense that she continued to vomit. Tina was able to get out of the bath and make her way downstairs, only to hear Shane snoring on the sofa. Tina knew where a hammer was in her kitchen and was sure she would be able to feel around and find it. She contemplated whether or not she should try and retrieve the hammer and attack Shane with it while he slept. Realizing that this was a bad idea, she decided against it. Tina just sat and wiped her nose. But as she did, she noticed it was particularly runny, and that the snot was string-like and sticky. As she continued to pull, she made a disturbing realization.
No, why did I come back to this? No, why? Oh, stop. Who told me to watch this shit? Who told me to watch this shit? Huh? What the fuck? Why? Why did I come to this stream? I don't know. Why did you? Get ready? No, I don't want to get ready. I don't want to know. Okay, ready? I'm gonna...
The sticky and string-like substance was not her mucus.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Pulling
I
on
can't
her
hear you.
optic nerves
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
and was now holding
Nope.
them in her hand.
Can't hear you.
Hours passed by until Shane awoke from his slumber at approximately 7 a.m.
Can't hear it.
By this
can't hear it.
point, Tina had been held captive for over 8 hours in an immense amount of pain and fear. Shane got
What was it, chat? Oh, that's right. I didn't hear it.
up, walked over to Tina and knelt down beside her. He began to stroke the now dried up eyeball that was hanging down her face and told her again that this was all her fault. After hours of begging, Shane eventually allowed Tina to make a call to a man named Paul. Paul was one of Tina's ex-partners and was also the father to one of her children. Upon hearing Tina's voice on the phone, Paul knew something was horribly wrong. And so he sped over to Tina's house as quickly as he could, and walked upstairs to where Tina and the children were. Shane tried to explain to Paul that 2 women had attacked her as she was walking home. Paul went into the children's bedroom first to check they were both okay, and then, not knowing the severity of the situation, brought them into Tina's bedroom, where she was laying naked, covered in her own vomit, with both of her eyes gouged and hanging out. Tina heard Paul and her children entering the room. She turned her head and desperately tried to hide her face from her kids, who were now in the room with her. But as she did, Tina felt one of her eyes...
Okay, dude, I can't do it. I can't do this anymore. I can't watch this. All right. I can't do it. I'm done. I'm done. Yep. I don't give a shit. Nope. That's just nope. I'm sorry. Let's skip a little bit forward. See what she looks like now. Does she have vision at all, or is she blind? She's probably completely blind, I assume. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing any more of that. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.